Hey folks, this is Rhykker with a gaming news wrap-up video where we discuss the happenings of the week. This week's topics include the heated discussions on whether Diablo Immortal is pay to win or not, an Elden Ring co-op mod now available, a bunch of game reveals this week, and more. As always, discussion timestamps can be found in the description below. But right before you skip ahead, just a quick reminder to ring that sub notification bell to be alerted to new Saturday episodes and stay up to date with gaming news highlights. Now before we move on, just a quick word from this video's sponsor, Keeps, which is all about keeping your hair. About 2 out of 3 guys will experience some form of male pattern baldness by the time they reach 35. Now, some men lean into that shaved head look, but some enjoy just having and styling hair and want to know, do we have any options? Now, there's no magic cure for baldness, but there are preventative steps to stop it from progressing and keep the hair you have. Keeps is a subscription service that focuses on making it easier and more affordable for men to treat their male pattern baldness, all from the comfort of their home, using clinically proven, research-backed treatments at about half the cost of a traditional pharmacy. Physicians at Keeps will help pick the right treatment plan for you, and every treatment plan comes with a full year of unlimited messaging, so you can contact your prescribing doctor at any time. Then it's as simple as subscribing and having everything you need delivered right to your door, with refill reminders sent to ensure you don't run out of what you need. Hair loss stops with Keeps. To get 50% off your first order, go to keeps.com/Rhykker or click the link in the description. That's keeps.com/RHYKKER. In our first quick story, we got the title reveal of Dragon Age 4. It'll be Dragon Age Dreadwolf. We know it's not releasing this year, and we know it'll feature as an antagonist our old friend Solus, the Dreadwolf. First introduced in Dragon Age Inquisition as a companion before the big plot twist. He was a very well-written character and a deserving antagonist for this new game. Another quick story, late last week we got a teaser trailer for Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which is a sequel to Jedi Fallen Order. It's a third-person, narrative-driven action-adventure game made by Respawn for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series SX, and it'll continue the story of Cal Kestis. Fallen Order won some Game of the Year awards, so this is definitely a sequel to keep an eye on. In other news, E3 is not taking place this year, but lots of summer shows are still happening, with game reveals and announcements that would have happened at E3. Devs and publishers will be doing live streams for their own announcements, because they said, yeah, well, we're gonna build our own E3, with Blackjack and Hook. On Thursday, June 2nd, we had Sony's presentation. Next Thursday, June 9th, we'll have the Summer Game Fest 2022, featuring the likes of 2K, Activision, Bandai Namco, Capcom, Coffee Stain, Deep Silver, Devolver Digital, Digital Extremes, EA, Epic, Frost Giant Studios, MiHoYo, Netflix, Square Enix, Warner Brothers, and more. On Friday, June 10th, Netflix will host Geeked Week, where they'll talk about over 60 Netflix projects, including the Cyberpunk Edge Runner animated series that was announced back in 2020, and the live-action Resident Evil show. Also on Friday, Tribeca Games will talk more about upcoming games, including A Plague Tale Requiem and Cuphead Delicious Last Course. On Saturday the 11th, the Future Games Show will take a look at 40 games and have multiple world premieres with a focus on indie games across console, PC, and mobile. On Sunday the 12th, there will be the Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase. We'll likely get more news about Fable and The Outer Worlds 2, plus rumors suggest the reveal of the next Forza Motorsport, a new Battle Royale mode coming to Halo Infinite, and also a Diablo 4 presence. And also on Sunday will be the PC Gaming Show with over 45 games planned to be presented, including Arma 4, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, and more. At the Sony presentation on Thursday, we learned that Final Fantasy XVI will be coming to PS5 in summer 2023, Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered is coming to PC on August 12th, and we also learned that Spider-Man Miles Morales is also slated for a PC release. We got a release date for upcoming adventure game Stray, in which you play as a stray cat. That'll release on July 19th and will be free for PlayStation Plus, Extra, and Premium members. We got the first gameplay trailer for Street Fighter 6, which will release in 2023 on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Horizon Forbidden West is getting a major update that includes a new Game Plus mode. We got a gameplay trailer for the Callisto Protocol, which looks amazing, and we got a confirmation that this sci-fi survival horror game will release on December 2nd, 2022. It's being made by a studio founded by the creator of Dead Space, so I have high hopes for this one. The Resident Evil 4 remake was officially announced. It'll release March 24th, 2023. The devs are looking to reimagine the storyline of the game, while keeping the essence of its direction, modernizing the graphics, and updating the controls to a modern standard. We also learned about a bunch of games coming to PlayStation VR 2. Resident Evil Village is coming to VR. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution, God, that's a mouthful, is coming to the original PlayStation VR in late 2022, and PlayStation VR 2 in 2023. No Man's Sky is coming to VR 2, and Horizon Call of the Mountain, which is coming exclusively to PSVR 2, got a gameplay trailer. This game follows a new story with a new protagonist, separate from Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, but you still get to explore the game's beautiful world from a whole new perspective. You'll climb mountains, you'll ride rivers, you'll even meet some familiar faces. In other news, Games Workshop had their Warhammer Skulls event, in which they revealed some brand new games and gave us more details on upcoming games. They revealed the first classic RPG set in the Warhammer 40k universe, Rogue Trader. This is being developed by Owlcat, who made the Pathfinder RPGs, so I'm looking forward to this one. In this game, you'll take on the role of a rogue trader, a descendant of a dynasty of privateers that have their own merchant empire. Rogue traders are given a huge amount of privilege and power, and they're tasked with expanding the borders of the Imperium. You'll use your huge void ship to travel to different worlds. You'll get to make meaningful choices in a non-linear story. You'll recruit companions, and battle will be turn-based in classic RPG style. No release date yet. We also got the reveal of Warhammer 40k Boltgun, a 90s style retro FPS similar to Doom and Quake. They call it a boomer shooter. It's coming to PC and consoles in 2023. We got a new cinematic trailer for 40k Darktide, which releases September 13th. We got a cinematic trailer for Warhammer 3 Immortal Empires, which will be entering open beta in Q3 of this year. This is basically a combination of all three Total War Warhammer games into one mega campaign with all playable races, factions, units, etc. To have access to the campaign, you will need to own all three games. Fat Shark announced a free update coming to Vermintide 2, Be'lakor Chaos Wastes, which will release June 12th, and a new beta has started for Blood Bowl 3, available until June 12th on Steam. In other news, we got this week some gameplay footage for upcoming game Sonic Frontiers, set to release on all major platforms in the holiday season of this year. The gameplay footage shows a 3D open world, high-speed platforming, a boss battle, and more. The boss fights seem pretty cool, but I must say that the cartoony Sonic looks really out of place in these realistically rendered environments. I'm seeing some mixed responses to the gameplay from audiences. There's a lot of skepticism about the open world format, with concerns that the world will feel bland and empty. IGN's gonna have world exclusive reveals for this game throughout all of June, so we'll learn more soon enough. On to some Elden Ring news. Did you ever want to play real co-op in Elden Ring? Well, modder Luke Yui is working on a mod for just that. He released his mod into public beta on May 27th, and you can download it from Nexus Mods, link in the description. It's gonna be buggy because it's an early beta, but he has a Discord set up for bug reports, and even for people to form parties to play. You can have up to 4 players in one game, without any invasions from other players. Everyone in the party can use their horses. Game progression is shared between players. You can choose to basically turn on PvP if you want. Once a player dies, they go into a spectator mode and will eventually respawn in the same game at the last bonfire they rested at, with a rot debuff that is removable by resting at sites of grace. I see a lot of comments from people who played the mod say it's an overall improvement to the game's base multiplayer, though it does make the game easier. That's either a pro or a con for you. On to Diablo news, starting with Diablo 4. At the end of a video talking about Diablo Immortal, Rod Ferguson, franchise general manager for Diablo, had this to say about Diablo 4.
And as for Diablo 4, trust me, you'll hear more on that very soon.
We're coming close to the end of the quarter. End of June is when we would expect the quarterly update. But if you watched last week's video, you'll know that there are some rumors and speculation that Diablo 4 will have some presence at the upcoming Xbox and Bethesda showcase on June 12th. As per the alleged leak, which I don't really trust, we're getting a release date reveal, but if there is a presence at this event, I do think we can expect something significant, maybe like a 5th class reveal. In Diablo 3 news, in celebration of the launch of Diablo Immortal, if you log into Diablo 3, all the way loading into a game, you can get these Countess Bloodwings and this Blood Rose pet for free. And that takes us to Diablo Immortal news. The game launched this week on mobile and PC, and to quickly answer some questions that I see come up often enough. First off, it is beta on PC, but again, this is basically a launch. There will be no wipes. People are asking when is a launch out of beta. It doesn't matter when it launches out of beta. You can play now. They're just calling it a beta because there's still some bugs to be fixed. Otherwise, no wipes, the game is fully there. Diablo Immortal is set 5 years after Diablo 2 and 15 years before Diablo 3. On PC, the max resolution for Immortal is 1080p, but the frame rate is uncapped. There is endgame content in the game that you cannot do solo. There's no cross-server play, and there's currently no way to transfer your character between servers. But the PvP battlegrounds are actually cross-server. And that takes us to the biggest question surrounding Immortal right now. Is Diablo Immortal pay to win? This has become a huge point of discussion. Lots of big discussions happening on forums, Reddit, YouTube, people raging about this, so let's address this. First off, I don't care to have any debates on the definition of pay to win. I don't care to get into a semantic argument, so I'll just say, yes, you can buy power in Diablo Immortal, both directly and indirectly. Yes, spending money will give you an advantage over other players who do not spend money. And for some people, that's a full stop right there. That's all that matters. They're ready to write off the game at that point, and that's okay. If you're philosophically and morally opposed to that, and you don't want to play the game because of it, that is okay. For other people though, the next question becomes, okay, but what is the extent of the pay to win? Can I still enjoy this game as a free-to-play player, or do I have to spend money to enjoy the game? So here are some facts. Diablo Immortal has a 20-hour campaign that can be enjoyed without spending a dime. There's no content in the game currently that is locked behind a paywall, be it directly or indirectly. A free-to-play player can access all the content in the game, and in the alpha and the beta, I didn't use the microtransactions at all, and I was able to enjoy all the content available. We know that every month, post-release, the devs are planning to release new free content. Be it a new class, a new dungeon, a new zone, whatever, all content will always be free for everyone. You cannot buy XP boosters, you cannot buy all the gear you're gonna wear, you cannot pay to skip. You have to play the game no matter how much money you spend. However, people who spend obscene amounts of money, that is whales, will be able to be significantly more powerful than top players who do not spend this money. Spending a bit of money will get you ever so slightly ahead, but if you have $100,000 to drop on this game, then you will, by any definition, win. And to clarify, I don't like this. I don't like any kind of monetization that affects gameplay. Cosmetics, totally fine with me. But I like everyone being on an even playing field regardless of their financial status. Ever since Alpha, I've had two major complaints about Diablo Immortal. The first was that it wasn't going to have a PC port, which now it does. And the second was the monetization, which I knew they weren't going to change. And that's actually why I'm so surprised to see so many people just suddenly so shocked that Immortal has these pay-to-win aspects. This has been no secret. We've known about this for months, for years. It's been obvious since Blizzard stated that they were making a mobile game. They didn't make here a mobile port of a Diablo game. They built a Diablo game for mobile, and that comes with the monetization model of a mobile game. Because no matter how many of us PC gamers don't like that monetization, that's considered pretty normal to mobile gamers. Now, for me, when I play Immortal, I just ignore the shop. And that's basically what a number of top Diablo 3 players are planning to do as they're going ham in Diablo Immortal. Wudijo, one of the world's top Diablo 3 players, is doing a fully free-to-play playthrough of Immortal. He's already gone to max level, he's grinding Paragon, and in PvP he is dominating. He ends matches with like 17 kills and 3 deaths, or fewer. Call him Ishmael, because he is literally hunting whales. That's of course not going to be the average Joe's experience though. He's an amazingly skilled player, and he has put a ton of time into the game, but just to say, without spending a dime, he's stomping whales. And that's because skill in the game still matters. He knows how to play his class, he knows how to play strategically, he knows when to engage, he knows what skills to use, and he's catching these people off guard. So, my plan is to play Immortal not too seriously, as a free-to-play player, until I reach a point where I feel I need to pay money to keep having fun by buying power in some way. I never reached that point in alpha or in beta, so I don't know if it'll come up after 100 hours of play or what have you, but for now I'm just ignoring all the microtransactions in the shop. I just play the game. I'll buy some cosmetics if I like them, because I do believe in cosmetics to support a game, but if I ever feel I'm reaching a paywall, I'll say, okay, I enjoyed my 100 hours with this game and now I'm done with it. That said, if anything like this makes its way into Diablo 4, I will be very vocally opposed to this. Because Diablo 4 is not a free mobile game, and I do not want this form of monetization to be normalized in PC gaming. It's too late for mobile. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. Not when you've built up an audience of people that already accept this model. Not when mobile players literally expect that games give them options to spend money for power. This is a culture shock for us PC gamers to see all these microtransactions, but for mobile gamers, it's a Tuesday. For people who think monetization in Immortal is bad, I got some popular mobile games to show you with far more insidious and predatory monetization. As for Diablo 4, at BlizzCon 2019, the dev said that you will not be able to buy power. I still believe that, and if we do see anything to the contrary, I will do everything in my power to fight it. So, is Immortal pay to win? Yes. Can you enjoy the game for at least dozens of hours as a completely free-to-play player? Yes, and possibly for longer. I can report back if and when I hit a soft paywall of some kind, which I would imagine will take the form of the grind becoming unbearably long without paying. But again, so far, throughout alpha, beta, and live experience, I have never felt the need, the desire, or even the incentive to spend a dime. If you refuse to play Immortal because you object to its monetization, I'm not trying to convince you otherwise. But if you're just wondering about how viable it is to be a free-to-play player, I think for the average gamer, it's entirely viable to experience all the base content the game has to offer. And that's gonna wrap up this video. But do be sure to check out last week's video in which we discussed how the Immortal devs said they believe the game will change people's minds. Thanks for watching. Special thanks to my Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube supporters for making these videos possible. If you like what you see on this channel and want to support the creation of more content, you can consider pledging on YouTube or Patreon and unlocking behind-the-scenes content, monthly virtual hangouts, and more. If you enjoyed this video, please share it. Check out these other videos, and subscribe to join Rhykker's Raiders for more gaming content.